The Valley of Silent Souls, real forgotten history. There are places hidden from the world, valleys erased from maps and buried under centuries of fear. Among these is a forgotten region known only through ancient manuscripts and whispered legends, a place cursed long before kingdoms existed, a place feared even today. This is the story of the Valley of Silent Souls. Long ago, deep inside a mountain range, a peaceful village lived, unaware that beneath their land lay something ancient, something sealed by their ancestors using knowledge now lost to history. One evening, a shepherd named Harun discovered a strange stone buried under the ground. Symbols glowed faintly on its surface, shifting like living fire. When he touched it, the earth trembled, and a cold wind swept through the valley. The village imam warned him that it was no ordinary stone. It was an ancient seal placed to close a gate between the human world and the realm of forbidden beings. But Harun, driven by curiosity, returned at midnight. The ground cracked open. Thick black smoke rose like a living shadow. From that night, the valley changed. Children woke up screaming that someone was standing beside them. Animals refused to enter the valley. The air felt heavier, colder, as if time itself had begun to rot. Harun heard voices calling his name, promising him knowledge and power. He grew pale, sleepless, distant. Then one night, he disappeared. 3 days later, villagers found him inside a mountain cave. His eyes were black, his voice deep, his presence cold. When they asked what happened, he whispered, "It is awake." The villagers realized that Harun had become the vessel of a shadow, Jinn one sealed centuries earlier by scholars, whose knowledge had been forgotten with time. That night, the valley fell into silence so deep it felt alive. Shadows stretched across the land. Windows shook. A roaring wind rose from the mountains as if something giant had awakened beneath the earth. And then, the valley screamed. Most villagers never escaped. Only a few survived to tell the tale. The rest vanished into the darkness that had risen from beneath the soil. The valley was abandoned. Maps erased it, and the world forgot its name. But the darkness inside it never slept. The Valley of Silent Souls, the return. Generations passed, and the legend became a warning whispered only among elders. But history has a way of resurfacing, especially truth that was buried in fear. Last year, a team of modern explorers, historians, archaeologists, and filmmakers arrived in the region. They followed old manuscripts that described a sealed cave and a valley where silence itself felt alive. On their first night inside the valley, they heard faint whispers echoing from the mountains. On the second night, shadows moved behind them, shapes that looked human, but vanished whenever light touched them. On the third night, one of the explorers screamed, claiming someone had stood inches from his face. Someone with pale skin and dark, empty eyes. They tried to leave, but the valley twisted around them. Paths disappeared. Fog rose like a living creature. Their equipment failed as if the air itself rejected modern technology. The final footage recovered from their cameras showed a tall figure standing deep inside the cave. Its outline was human, but its movements were not. It watched them silently, waiting, breathing, alive. A whisper filled the cave. "It is awake." The explorers dropped their cameras and ran, but none of them ever reached the exit. Their bodies were never found. Authorities sealed the valley again, declaring it geologically unstable. Locals know the truth. They warn travelers never to go near it. Some say that on silent nights, the same whispers rise from the mountains, calling out to anyone who steps too close. Because the gate that was once sealed is no longer asleep. The silent souls still roam, the valley still breathes, and the darkness is waiting for its next name to whisper. The Valley of Silent Souls, the awakening echo. For months after the explorers vanished, the valley remained silent. No birds, no wind, no footsteps. Even wildlife avoided the mountains, as if something unseen guarded the land. But deep inside the sealed cave, something had changed. The ancient markings on the wall symbols carved by long forgotten scholars began to glow faintly. Dust shifted on the ground. The air trembled with a low constant hum, like the valley itself was breathing. One night, a lone traveler named Idris, who worked documenting abandoned regions, entered the area by accident. He wasn't hunting legends, only mapping forgotten landscapes. But the valley had been waiting. The moment he crossed the first ridge, the atmosphere grew unnaturally still. His compass spun wildly. His phone lost all signal. The temperature dropped as if he had stepped into a different world. As he walked deeper, Idris felt someone following him. He turned. Nothing, yet he sensed a presence cold, ancient, silent. He reached the cave entrance and froze. The cave walls pulsed like a heartbeat, light flickering through the cracks. And then he heard it soft, slow, chilly. A deep whisper, not from any direction, from everywhere at all.